Alright, I'm here to talk about shutter speed, aperture, and film speed. These are the three fundamental things that you need to absolutely know about your digital SLR camera right when you get it. If you can master these things, then you can take a picture right every single time. That's basically it. So let's go over shutter speed. Shutter speed is the duration of the curtain being opened that's in front of your camera sensor. So I'll take this lens off so you can actually see what the heck is going on. That's all shutter speed is the length of how the duration of when that thing flops up, it lets all the light in, the sensor records all that light, and then it shuts, and then it saves the picture. So I'll make the shutter speed longer so you can see what that looks like. I'll make it 1.3 seconds. Bam, it's all recording the light. Bam, it stops. Bam, it's all the lights going in, and then bam, it stops again. So each of these three things that you're learning about right now, aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, they all have effects and side effects. So the effect of this is its brightness and darkness, because the longer this is open, that time a bunch of light got in, and it was all coming in constantly when that was open. But if I shorten it up, that was really quick, so less light got in during that duration of when that curtain was up. So therefore the image is also, it's just darker. However, the side effect of shutter speed is motion blur. So if I had this shutter speed set to 1 second and I was moving my finger back and forth, what do you think is going to happen? My finger is going to be completely blurry because it's recording all of that light during that 1 second time period, but my finger's moving constantly. So my finger's not going to look frozen in a picture. It's not going to be a freeze frame. It's going to be completely blurry. Now, if I set it way down to a 400th of a second, I do that same thing. See how fast that was? That's going to freeze my finger, and it's going to be still, and it's going to look normal. There's a lot of creative things you can do with long shutter speeds, but we'll talk about that in a different video. But now let's move on to aperture. Now aperture is how the opening of your lens, how much light comes in through your lens. So that's a wide aperture. That's actually f5.6 right there. And then this is a very small aperture. That's probably f32 or f36 or something. And now, as you can guess, it's pretty much the same effect as shutter speed. When it's open more light gets in, and when it's shut more, less light gets in. However, the side effect of aperture is called depth of field. So when this is, and I'll explain this, when this is open all the way, and if I take a picture of my finger right here, and the focus point was on my finger, and this was at f5.6, and it was zoomed in all the way, let's just say, my finger would be crystal clear, but everything behind my finger and in front of my finger will be very blurry. That's what depth of field is. It's limiting your focus point into a certain point. However, if I took the picture and it was at a very small aperture, the opening was very small, let's just say that's a higher f number, so like f22, my finger would be in focus, and also more of behind my finger would be a little bit more in focus as well. And now film speed. Film speed is the sensitivity of light to your image. So if I was at ISO 200, that's a very good ISO, because when you're talking about ISO, you have an effect and a side effect, just like the other two fundamental principles we're talking about. So you really need to worry about the side effect of ISO, and the side effect is called noise. This is also known as grain. They differ a little bit, but noise is basically color grain. It's not good, so I would recommend always staying at the lowest ISO that you can when you're taking a picture. However, this is sometimes not the case, because you're going to need to use ISOs higher to raise the brightness, because the effect of ISO is, yet again, brightness and darkness. So if I was at ISO 200, the image would be darker, compared to if I was at ISO 1600, it would be lighter. However, if I was at ISO 1600, there would be more noise introduced into the image. If I was at ISO 200, the noise would be cut down, and it would be a much more clear, natural image. So that's basically the three fundamentals that you need to know about your digital SLR camera. You might be asking yourself, there's three variables, which one do I pick and how? Well, this is what the knob is here for. There's automatic mode, which is fully automatic. It will adjust the shutter speed and the aperture for you. And P mode is exactly the same thing, except the flash is excluded. So this little flash won't automatically pop up when it's in P mode. And this is what I usually use whenever I'm just casually taking pictures. And then there's shutter priority mode. Now shutter priority mode, that'll give you the control to adjust the length of the shutter speed. And the camera will adjust the aperture for you. It'll take these two variables and even them out until they're just right, and then you get a properly exposed picture. The aperture priority mode is where you get to control the aperture. When you move the knob around, you're adjusting the aperture and the camera is adjusting the shutter speed for you. It'll mix these two up, it'll combine them, and you'll get a properly exposed picture. Manual mode is where you get to adjust the shutter speed and the aperture by yourself, and the camera does nothing. So what situations do you want to use these different modes in? I would use P mode whenever you're just casually taking pictures. I would use shutter priority mode when you want to get a long exposure of, say, a Ferris wheel going around. Or you could also use shutter priority mode if there was like a race car going by and you wanted a short shutter speed and you wanted the camera to adjust the aperture. And I would use aperture priority mode if you wanted to get like a really nice dreamy portrait, and if you wanted to get that really blurry background, you would go all the way down to f1.8 and you say, hey, I'm just sticking there and I'm leaving the camera to adjust the shutter speed to whatever. Or if you're taking a landscape, you would want to just bump it up to f16 and then let the camera adjust the shutter speed for you. And if you're doing manual mode, this is very useful when you're doing stuff on a tripod, or if you're outside and you're taking like night landscapes, because then you could adjust the aperture all the way down, and then you can adjust the shutter speed to a really long shutter speed, and then you could adjust your ISO by yourself as well and bump it all the way up. So now we're getting the maximum brightness we can out of our camera. We got the widest aperture, the longest shutter speed, and the most intense ISO.